Listen to the story and appreciate idioms. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Encountering Idioms. Today, the idiom we are going to encounter is
三顾茅庐
Let's break it down and read it slowly.
三顾茅庐三顾茅庐三顾茅庐三
means 3 times.
顾
means to visit or pay respects.
茅庐
refers to a thatched cottage, which now figuratively means a humble dwelling.
三顾茅庐
literally means 3 visits to the thatched cottage. Now it metaphorically refers to sincerely inviting and visiting a talented and wise person. The idiom
三顾茅庐
originated from The Records of the Three Kingdoms, Chronicles of Shu, Biography of Zhuge Liang, by Qin Shou in the Jin Dynasty. The original text states,
先帝不以臣卑鄙，猥自枉屈，三顾臣于草庐之中。咨臣以当世之事，由是感激，遂许先帝以驱驰。
The meaning of this phrase is that the late Emperor Liu Bei did not belittle me due to my humble and uncultivated status. He willingly humbled himself and personally visited my humble thatched cottage 3 times to discuss important national affairs with me. As a result, I deeply appreciate his actions and agreed to the late emperor's request, following him and assisting him. The historical anecdote behind this phrase is as follows. During the late years of the Han Dynasty, corruption plagued the imperial court while society fell into chaos. The suffering of the people led to widespread uprisings and unrest throughout the land. Cao Cao, a warlord, held the emperor captive in the north and commanded the officials of the Han Dynasty. Another warlord, Sun Quan, occupied several cities in the east and established the kingdom of Eastern Wu. On the other hand, warlord Liu Bei, relying on his excellent character, formed his own army. However, among the warlords, Liu Bei and his forces were the weakest. In one battle, Liu Bei's soldiers, lacking military prowess, suffered a defeat against Cao Cao's army. Realizing that victory was unlikely, Liu Bei fled to the region of Jingzhou. Recognizing his own shortcomings, Liu Bei desperately sought capable individuals to assist him. Under the pretext of reviving the Han Dynasty, he recruited talented individuals to aid his cause. 2 of Liu Bei's subordinates, Su Shu and Sima Hui, aware of his urgent need for talent, recommended a renowned military and political strategist named Zhuge Liang. Su Shu and Sima Hui unanimously spoke to Liu Bei, saying, Lord, we know of a person named Zhuge Liang who possesses both knowledge and great talent. He resides in Longzhong, near Wulong Hill. Therefore, he is known as Mr. Crouching Dragon. You can bring Xiangyu and Zhang Fei with you to invite him to help you. We believe Zhuge Liang will undoubtedly become your most trusted assistant. Indeed, Zhuge Liang lived in a remote area of Longzhong. Every day, he secluded himself in his thatched cottage, seemingly unconcerned about events unfolding outside. However, in reality, Zhuge Liang deeply cared about the affairs of the nation. He studied military strategy and celestial phenomena, because he believed that he must fully utilize his abilities whenever an appropriate opportunity arose. Upon hearing about Zhuge Liang, Liu Bei was overjoyed. He chose an auspicious day and personally led Zhang Fei and Guan Yu to visit Zhuge Liang. The three of them arrived at Zhuge Liang's humble thatched cottage. After knocking on the door, they didn't see Zhuge Liang but instead encountered his servant, who said, "My master is not at home. It would be best for you to come back in a few days." Disappointed, Liu Bei left. Several days later, heavy snowfall covered the land, but Liu Bei, accompanied by Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, braved the snow to find Zhuge Liang once again. However, they still did not meet him and only encountered the servant. The servant informed them, "My master has gone out for leisure. It would be better for you to come back in a few more days." Zhang Fei, filled with anger, said to Liu Bei, "Since we have come twice, and he's not here, he must be deliberately avoiding us. We should just return." Liu Bei said to Zhang Fei, "Do not be hasty. Let's wait a little longer. I will write a letter to Zhuge Liang, informing him of our repeated visits. I believe that upon receiving the letter, he will stay and await us." Liu Bei then took out a pen and paper and wrote a letter to Zhuge Liang. In the letter, Liu Bei expressed his desperate need for talented individuals and his hope that Zhuge Liang could help resolve the country's current crisis. Liu Bei also wrote that, as a demonstration of his sincerity, he would abstain from eating meat for the next 3 days. Following the instructions in his letter, Liu Bei refrained from eating meat for 3 days. Afterward, he prepared to visit Zhuge Liang once again. At this point, Guan Yu said to Liu Bei, "Brother, I think Zhuge Liang is just famous in the name. He might not have any real talent. You have been so humble towards him, but he doesn't appreciate your sentiment. I think it's best if we don't go." Zhang Fei, infuriated, exclaimed, "Big brother, why don't you let me go find him? If he refuses to come, I'll tie him up and bring him to you. It's so simple. Now, look, I haven't eaten meat for 3 days." Feeling slightly angered by Zhang Fei's words, Liu Bei replied, "Little brother, your words are impolite. I believe Zhuge Liang is indeed talented. I must personally invite him with utmost sincerity." Thus, they arrived near Zhuge Liang's thatched cottage. The servant, seeing Liu Bei and his companions return, said, "My master is at home today, but he is currently sleeping. It would be best not to disturb him." Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei entered the house quietly, refraining from speaking or waking the sleeping Zhuge Liang. Shortly after, Zhuge Liang awakened and, upon seeing Liu Bei and his 3 men, felt delighted. He engaged in conversation with them. Zhuge Liang said, "I live in this dilapidated thatched cottage, yet you not only do not despise it but have visited here 3 times. This deeply moves me. I no longer have a reason to stay here. I have decided to leave my cottage and join your military camp to assist you." Zhuge Liang then discussed the current state of affairs and proposed numerous strategies for occupying territory and seizing control of the realm. Zhuge Liang said, "Lord, considering the present circumstances, we should first form an alliance with the warlord in the east, Sun Quan. We also need to deploy troops to pacify the minority tribes in the south. Once everything is arranged, you will have the strength to capture Jingzhou and Yizhou. Cao Cao's actions have angered the ministers of the Han dynasty. We can take advantage of this opportunity and dispatch forces from Jingzhou and Yizhou to pacify the central plains. Liu Bei, convinced by Zhuge Liang's words, found them reasonable and requested him to serve as his military strategist and aid in implementing these plans. Liu Bei had complete trust in Zhuge Liang, and Zhuge Liang, grateful for Liu Bei's trust, devoted himself to assisting him. Indeed, with Zhuge Liang's help, Liu Bei and his army grew stronger. Sun Quan and Cao Cao no longer dared to underestimate Liu Bei. In particular, during a battle in Hanzhong, Liu Bei defeated Cao Cao's massive army with a small number of soldiers and drove Cao Cao's forces out of the region. All of this was made possible thanks to Zhuge Liang's assistance. In this story, Liu Bei cherished talent and visited Zhuge Liang's humble thatched cottage 3 times, which gave rise to the idiom,
三顾茅庐.
There is another mythological story about King Wen of Zhou, Ji Cheng, inviting Jiang Ziya. Once upon a time, during the late period of the Shang dynasty, the people of China suffered greatly under the cruel rule of King Zhou. In order to free the people from King Zhou's tyranny, a minister named Ji Cheng decided to rise up and rebel against him. However, Ji Cheng lacked the necessary information and resources to overthrow King Zhou, so he set out to find talented individuals who could assist him. One day, while Ji Cheng was sleeping, he had a dream of a flying bear passing before his eyes. When he woke up, he sensed that the dream held some significant meaning. Soon, he heard about an old man who lived near the Wei River and was known as Flying Bear because of his exceptional fishing skills. Ji Cheng was delighted to hear this and went to search for the old man near the Wei River. After inquiring, he was told that the old man's name was Jiang Ziya and he lived in a thatched cottage not far away. So, Ji Cheng went to the location of Jiang Ziya's cottage to find him. When he arrived at the cottage, he found the door tightly shut. He asked the neighbors about Jiang Ziya and was informed that he was not at home. Disappointed, Ji Cheng had no choice but to leave. A few days later, Ji Cheng returned to Jiang Ziya's doorstep once again. This time, he finally met Jiang Ziya. Ji Cheng was overjoyed and said to him, "Sir, I know that you are a talented individual. I hope you can help me overthrow the rule of King Zhou." Jiang Ziya sighed and replied, "I understand that the people of the world are suffering, and it saddens me as well. But right now, I only desire a peaceful life. Please do not disturb me." Ji Cheng tried to persuade Jiang Ziya for a long time, but it seemed that Jiang Ziya had no intention of helping him, so Ji Cheng reluctantly left. Back at his home, Ji Cheng kept thinking about how to convince Jiang Ziya to assist him. He was so worried that he couldn't eat for several days. However, Ji Cheng was determined not to give up. A few days later, he returned to Jiang Ziya's residence to persuade him once again. Upon seeing Ji Cheng's sincerity, Jiang Ziya said, "Very well. Since you have invited me so sincerely, I will allow you to personally pull my cart and take me to your capital. The soldiers surrounding them became angry upon hearing Jiangzia's words and wanted to kill him. However, Ji Cheng stopped them and said, "To end the suffering of the people, pulling a cart is nothing. I am willing to pull the cart for you as long as you are willing to help me." So, Ji Cheng prepared a cart and respectfully invited Jiangzia to sit on it while he pulled it. Now, at that time, Jiangzia was nearly 80 years old, and Ji Cheng was also quite old. Ji Cheng struggled to pull the cart, step by step, and walked a total of 837 steps. At that point, he couldn't go any further. Ji Cheng stopped and said to Jiangzia, "Sir, I am too tired. I need to rest for a while." Jiangzia smiled and said, "You don't need to pull the cart anymore. I am willing to help you. You have walked 837 steps. And I guarantee that the country you will establish in the future will last for 837 years. Ji Cheng quickly responded, "Sir, I can keep going. I hope the country I will build in the future can last even longer." Jiangzia said, "That is already the limit. It's unnecessary to be too fixated on something so distant." As Jiangzia had predicted, the Zhou dynasty lasted for over 800 years in history. In this legendary story, Ji Cheng made multiple attempts to invite Jiangzia to help him, which gave rise to the idiom,
三顾茅庐.
Two stories have been told. Next, let's review the idiom we encountered today.
三顾茅庐. 三顾茅庐.
Finally, let's use
三顾茅庐
to make a sentence.
校长三顾茅庐，诚恳地邀请爷爷在返学校代课。校长三顾茅庐，诚恳地邀请爷爷在返学校代课。
That's all for today's Encountering Idioms. If you enjoy it, please like and subscribe. See you next time.